Hey everybody, this is Randy Brown for Cammyman 2021 and the Mayor of Magic. Now, the NaNoWriMo Challenge isn't actually to finish a book. The NaNoWriMo Challenge is actually designed to help you exceed 50,000 words. And if you exceed 50,000 words, you won the challenge. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing here today. I think that my story is going to need about maybe 3 or 4 more chapters to wrap up everything in a tight, neat little bow. But I'm very close. So tonight I am going to be on a go to 50,000 words, and then I'm going to stop, and that'll be it for the day. But I only have 1,300 words. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not actually a lot. I mean, actually, I could probably do that in about an hour and a half. So, hey, what's up, Fears Vlogs? Yeah, I'm gonna be doing this. Fears, don't call me. I'm gonna be focused on my work. But yeah, I gave your live stream 2 likes. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm going to start working, and I'm going to cross the threshold at 50,000 words. Then I'm going to cut it off. This is going to be like a normal Write With Me live stream where I, write for 25 minutes, and then I talk for 15 minutes. So no problem, buddy. Okay. So here we go, and I'm just going to start it off right now, and ready, and bam. Gonna show you right here. Okay, right there. I'm calling it a night and going to sleep. Night, peeps. All right, night fears. So let me do my calculations here. So 50,010 words minus 48,573 equals 1437. All right. Divided by 1437 divided by 3 equals 479 words. So let's do the math here. Uh, 48,573 48,573 plus 479 equals 4902. Then 49,531, and then 8,010. All right, so I've got my 3 goals. The first sprint should go to 49,052 words. Then the second goal should be 49,531. Then after that, 5,010. And we are El Dono. So I'm going to save this. Bam. Save. And let's get going. Okay, 49,132 words. So only 900 more words to go, and I am El Duno. So I'm gonna do like a little break right here, right now. So let me just put 15 minutes on the clock. Let's see if I can nail it. Nope, didn't. Let's try again. See if I can do it. Bam. Nailed it. Okay, so Exhume Visions is here. Exhume Visions says, congrats, Randy. Thanks, Exhume Visions. Will we be getting the book review tonight? No, I'm too tired. I had a lot of stuff to do. I had to go grocery shopping. I had to do the Bible reading at our midweek meeting. And plus I'm doing this. And after I get done with this, I'm going to be super tired. He took a break 3 minutes early. What a slacker. No, I'm not a slacker. I got done with my work early. I finished my word count early. So I'm taking a break early. Like, I have the goals set up. So my next goal is 49,531 words. And then after that, the goal is 50,010 words. So no, I'm not slacking. I got finished early. Finishing early isn't slacking. I was just pulling your chain, Randy. Oh, okay. Yeah. You had me worried there for a second. I thought you were being serious. But yeah, if you do your job early, you get to leave early. That's how it's always been as long as I've been around. So the dude, if you have any questions, Joey0902, Exhume Visions, Fears Logs, if you all have any questions, let me know. Pop them in the chat. So again, I'm just going to recap what I said and then pop your questions down there. So the NaNoWriMo challenge isn't actually to finish a novel. The challenge is to write 50,000 words. And I am so damn close to it right now. Only 900 more words, and then I am El Duno. Actually, I think it's 908. So, yeah. So this has been a good journey. I had lots of fun. And I really wanted to do this again. I really wanted to see if I could do it, see if I could go the distance. One of my go-to karaoke songs in karaoke is The Distance by Cake. And what's funny about that song, I don't know if many people know this, but there's references to all three types of racing. Like the song kind of like blends the types of racing because at the beginning of the story, it says reluctantly crouched at the starting line. And that implies that it's a foot race, that people are crouched at the starting line. And then it goes engines pumping and thumping in time. And then engines would imply that it's a car race. And then he's racing as reluctantly crouched at the starting line, engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flies go up, churning and burning. They yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank. Fuel burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the turns. The power is potent and secretly stern as they speed through the finish. The flags go down, the fans get up, and they get out of town. The arena is empty, except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago, somebody left with the cup, but he's driving and striving and hugging the turns and thanking for someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. He's going the distance. There was something about horses in that song. Like he's driving and striving and riding on his horse. So that implies horse racing. So it's at the beginning it's a foot race, then they go to like car racing, and then it's like horse racing. So there's three different types of racing in the song The Distance, and I was always confused, like what kind of race is this? So yeah, again, the Cake is one of my go-to bands when I do karaoke. I usually sing The Distance, and then the other song I like to sing is Never There. And actually, Cake did a version of I Will Survive. I originally thought it was Gloria Estefan who did I Will Survive, but I think the woman's actual name is Gloria Gaynor. I think that's her actual name, the I Will Survive chick. I think it was like Whitney Houston, Tina Turner, Gloria Estefan, or Gloria Gaynor. One of those. One of those four is the one that did I Will Survive. It was a good song. And the Cake version of it is on the album Fashion Nugget. And, I always do a joke when I sing Cake songs. I go, hey, everybody, my name's Randy the Amazing. I'm a comedian, a musician, a mentalist. If you don't like my comedy, it's magic. This song is by Cake. A lot of people I don't know I work for Cake. The food, not the group, but this music is by the group. So there you go. So yeah, that's the joke that I usually tell when I sing Cake. And me and my mom have started to like buy cake on the 13th, and then eat it throughout the rest of the month. So we try to get like a big huge cake on the 13th, and then we just slowly polish it off for dessert for the rest of the month. And it's always good to have cake, because I'm a Jehovah's Witness, my mom's a Jehovah's Witness, and we don't eat cake a lot because we don't do birthdays and we don't do holidays. So we like to have a little, a big cake now and then. What does your mom sing at karaoke? My mom sang one song. She doesn't sing karaoke, but one time I convinced her to do a song at karaoke, and I said, "Mom, the easiest song to sing is Tequila. There's only 3 words in it, and they're tequila, tequila, tequila. So just sing Tequila." And she overcame her stage fright. She got up there and she did it. And I told you it was easy. It was easy. Lucky Chucky says, Cameraman 2021, the eye doctor today wasn't the best. Told me to see a specialist. Not doing so great mentally. Oh, damn, Lucky Chucky. That's not good. I wish you the best, man. I hope your eyes get better. Because again, I know, I have astigmatism, and I wear these glasses because of the astigmatism. But I know how bad the eyesight thing can be, because you're like losing one of your senses. It's I had an earwax blockage in both ears one time, and not being able to hear really loud, it's like really frustrating and kind of scary. So I hope you get through that, Lucky Chucky. I hope your specialist is cheap and he does a good job. He or she. Women are doctors too. Yeah, I got that too. Yeah. So yeah, I had blockages in both my ears. Now the first 2 times I went to the ear doctor, they cleaned them out for $30 because they said the deductible hit on your Humana. So it's usually $135, but we're only going to charge you $30 because your Humana is going to cover the rest of it. But last time I went, it was the full 135, and I was like, holy crap. And I was really struggling that month financially. So I really couldn't, give the entire thing. Actually, I've still got to pay him the rest of the $20 that I owe him. I'm going to do that tomorrow because I get my check on the 3rd, but if the 2nd or the 3rd falls on a weekend, I get my money early. So I'm going to go pay the rest of the $25. And, he's got bad eyes from playing too much Mafia. Video games, they can strain your eyes. They can strain your eyes, and it's not good. I mean, like, probably the reason that I have to wear glasses is because when I was a little kid, I used to watch movies in the dark all the time. I used to be a big horror movie buff. I'm not anymore. Like, you have to be really creative for me to be a fan of your horror movie. But yeah, like I'll see another Nightmare on Elm Street if they make one. But as far as like Halloween and Thanksgiving and And Jason goes, I'm not going to be seeing any of those. But yeah, watching movies in the dark, like not in the theater, but like in your room, like with all the lights off, that can put a real strain on your eyes. Some people like to play video games with nothing else on. Lucky Chucky says, LOL, I beat that game too many times, so perhaps. How are you and the baby? Lucky Chucky says, do you think Fear's brain will turn to rot from watching movies too much? No, I actually think the opposite. I think he'll, if he watches director's commentary, he'll learn a thing or two, and he'll get a lot of points on how to make movies and stuff. You know, I wasn't a big fan of Michael Bay until I listened to his commentaries. I mean, Michael Bay's movies are usually like super big budget, but they give him so big a budget because he really knows how to use that money. You know, he knows how to take a little and make it a lot. That's what he did with the original Bad Boys. And, you know, he knows how to spend money properly and put it towards the right things. Because, you know, like there's a scene in Bad Boys 2 where I wanted to say Axel Foley, no, where Marcus, and I want to say Marcus Brody, I know that's not right. Marcus Lowry, no, Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett are riding in a helicopter. And what a lot of people don't know is that wasn't an actual helicopter. The exterior shot where like the helicopter flies by, that was a stock footage shot. The actual helicopter shot is like from down looking up, and we don't see the outside of the helicopter at all. And they had the cameraman just jiggle the set to make it look like it was shot in a helicopter. And that entire scene was not shot in a helicopter. It was shot on a set in a soundstage. But Michael Bay is so brilliant that he actually made it look like it was a real helicopter flying by and that these two guys were in it. So he really knows how to save money, and he really knows how to get the most bang for his buck. I think that's why he's so popular with studios. You know, he really knows how to squeeze the juice out of the money. You know, he knows how to squeeze it. So yeah. And I respect Michael Bay as a filmmaker. His eye is freaking amazing. Like, he really knows how to compose shots. And, you know, a lot of people come down on him because they say, oh, he's got a new shot every 4 seconds and he's proud of that. And I'm like, yeah, he should be proud of that. That means he's got shot variety. And shot variety is intrinsically interesting. Like, I mean, if you have a same boring static shot for like 5 minutes, there's something wrong with your film. I mean, the camera is supposed to be moving, and the shots are supposed to look good, supposed to be well lit. And, you know, if I can give Michael Bay props for one thing, it's that he has amazing shot variety. I mean, and the shots are composed well, they're lit well. I mean, he has a really good eye. Really, really good eye. So, yeah, only 900 more words to go. Only 900 more words to go. I'm so inarticulate when I'm on lives. This is why I usually do stuff edited, so I can chop out the parts where I'm flubbing my lines. You know, I mean, like when you see a video with me and it's edited, you got to realize that I edited out like 5 hours of footage. What are your thoughts on Christopher Nolan? I'm going to be serious here. His last 3 films bored me. Oppenheimer bored me, Interstellar bored me, and Dunkirk bored me. But Dunkirk has a fantastic soundtrack. Hans Zimmer did an amazing job on that movie. I don't know why. Oh no, those weren't his last. Those weren't his last 3 movies. His last 3 movies were Oppenheimer. That bored me. Tenet was okay. I would watch it again if I was super bored. But yeah, Interstellar, Oppenheimer, and Dunkirk. I just found them boring. And Tenet was interesting. It had a lot of good action in it. Had a lot of good acting. But like literally, Michael Caine is in the movie for like 2 minutes. He's in one dinner scene, and that's it. I thought that was a tremendous waste of Michael Caine's talent. I mean, if you're gonna have Michael Caine in the movie, have him like in some sort of big pivotal breakout, like master monologue. And that's the same thing that's the same complaint I had with Albert Einstein. It's like Albert Einstein's cameo was just like there was nothing to it. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Let's see if I can stop it exactly at 25. See, I'm really good with my reflexes on these timers, but I told you this before twice in two other streams, but I'll tell you again. At Dave and Buster's, they have this machine, and it's a circle of lights. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to stop it at the very top light. And I talked to a former employee, and he said, Randy, that game is a total scam because no matter even if you hit it at the perfect top light, it's going to go to the next one and say you lost. Because, like, if you stop it at the very top light, that gives you like 200 tickets. And, like all the other lights that you stop it on are like maybe 4 or 5 tickets. But he said that is a total scam. They want you to lose. That's how they make their money. And like I said, I can do this thing and stop it on 25 exactly, like 2 out of 3 times. So I don't know. I think that game is a scam. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on for 25 more minutes. I'm going to write until 531 words. If I get there early, I'm going to click off. Again, I'm not slacking. Finishing early is the difference. So drop your questions in the chat, and I will pick up in just a bit. So let me put that right there. Okay. Bam. Hit my second goal right there. Let me just turn this off. We got 7 minutes on the clock. So we're going to go to 15 minutes. Let's see if I can do it again. Bam. So, okay, we got 15 minutes to go here. Going to answer some questions. Save. So, one more sprint. Only 500 more words to go. And I'll be there. Actually, less than 500, maybe 490. Okay. Thoughts on Christopher Nolan? Now, I really like Christopher Nolan. I really do. He's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. I think his early work is spectacular. Memento is one of the greatest movies ever made. Batman Begins, one of the greatest Batman movies ever made. The Dark Knight, the greatest Batman movie ever made. A lot of people give him crap for The Dark Knight Rises, but The Dark Knight Rises is actually a very watchable movie. It's got a lot of good parts in it. Anytime Anne Hathaway's in that skin-tight catsuit, man, I'll tell you, my Dark Knight Rises. But yeah, I remember a reporter asked her, "How do you fit into that catsuit?" And she's like, "Why are you thinking of donning a catsuit?" And if that were me, I'd be like, "I'm thinking about getting in a catsuit, not the way you're thinking." You know, I'm getting in that catsuit with you, Anne Hathaway. You know, Anne Hathaway is a very attractive lady, and yeah. So, anyways, yeah, Memento was great. Batman Begins was great. Dark Knight Rises, not only one of the best Batman films of all time, but just hands down one of the best films of all time. Like, Heath Ledger's performance was amazing, and there were several scenes in that movie where I was like, holy shit. You know, like the scene where you know, the Joker does the pencil trick for the first time where he impales the guy on the pencil. When I saw that, I was like, wow, this is a serious movie. This is getting dark. And then that scene where the police commissioner drinks the acid, I was like, holy crap, this isn't letting up. And then the scene where you know, the Joker's secretly in the cabin of the Mack truck, and the police officer's like, "Hey, you can't park that here." And then the Joker pops up, racks the shotgun, and blasts him in the face. I was like, holy shit, this is a serious movie, man. Like, those scenes were heavy, and those scenes hit me in the face. And, you know, I remember I was watching the movie, and there were tons of kids in the audience. And if you know The Dark Knight is it's a mature movie. It's pretty violent, and it's pretty graphic, you know. And I remember when the movie ended, this like little 9-year-old boy walked past in front of me, and I could just see him like, the Joker won. You know, he didn't say that, but he had this look on his face like he was horrified. Like, man, the Batman is a criminal now, and the Joker basically proved that he could tear down people. And he didn't say any of this, but I could just see it on the kid's face. The kid was like mortified at the ending of that movie. And I was like, wow, this is a heavy film. It's a heavy, heavy film. And, you know, there are several scenes in there that just hit you like a Mack truck. Just like bam, bam, bam. And, you know, the scene where, and speaking of Mack trucks, the scene where the Mack truck flipped over, that wasn't CGI. They actually flipped over a Mack truck. So, you know, I got to give them props for that. And, you know, my friend Ryan thought that the hospital scene was CGI. He was like, "Yeah, man, I didn't like the Dark Knight. The CGI on the hospital scene was totally dumb. Didn't look real." I'm like, dude, it was real. I mean, it wasn't a hospital, but they They dressed up the old Brock's chocolate factory to look like a hospital, and they actually blew it up. That wasn't CGI, dude. And he's like, no, you're wrong, Randy. You don't know what you're talking about. And then I'm like, dude, I'll show you the video. So I showed him the YouTube behind the scenes video, and he's like, oh, I guess you were right, Randy. And I was like, yeah, I guess I was Ryan, wasn't I? Yeah. So, and one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies of all time, right behind The Dark Knight, is Inception. Inception is a great movie. Now, when I originally went to see it, you got to take Inception in context. Christopher Nolan had just done Batman Begins a few years prior, and then his next film was Inception. And there were a lot of rumors on the net that Inception was actually a Dark Knight prequel film, and that all of the crimes in Inception take place in Edward Nygma's head. And Edward Nygma was the guy who created the Dream Machine. And the rumor was that the Inception was just a big setup for The Dark Knight. Now that, if that was true, would have been freaking amazing. That would have been like balls to the wall shocking. It didn't turn out to be like that, but that was it was an interesting concept, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait for Christopher Nolan. He's going to yank the rug out from under me, and I was like, no, it didn't happen, but Inception was still a great movie. Still a great movie, you know. Ellen Page, when she was cute and looked good, and got a lot of good actors in there. Got Tom Hardy, got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, had Leo DiCaprio, Marion Cotillard, who would later play Marion Crane. And was it Marion Crane? Miranda Tate. No, Marion Crane was the chick who got killed in Psycho. She played Miranda Tate in The Dark Knight. And if you've seen The Dark Knight, you know who Miranda Tate really is. But I'm not going to spoil it for people who have not seen the movie, because it's a great movie. You should go watch it. You know, but yeah. If you got any thoughts, or got any questions, drop them in the chat. I don't care what you put, just as long as you don't put anything trolly. I will answer any and all questions if they're not trolly. You know, that's my policy. You know, if you're trying to upset me or anger me or insult one of my friends, I'm not going to answer your question. But as long as the question isn't trolly, I'll answer whatever. And sometimes, even if it's slightly trolly, I'll still answer it. So, yeah. So if you got any questions, drop them in the chat, and I will answer it. So we got 7 minutes to go. I am this far away from winning the challenge. I'm kind of excited, kind of hyped up. Again, I don't think this is going to be the last chapter. I think I got like three or four more chapters to wrap everything up in a nice, neat little bow. And I'll do some writing streams where I do that. But, you know, the writing after I hit the 50,000 10 words is basically going to be about, like, you know, tying up the story, tying up the loose ends. Nobody's got any questions? Come on, Lucky Chucky. Come on, Joey. Come on, the dude. I know you got some questions. Exhumed Visions, Fierce Vlogs, Let Her Rip. Can ask me anything. I'm back. Oh, Joey0902. He's back, everybody. He's back. So, Joey, what I was basically saying is, what I basically said to the chat and everybody is, you know, I'll answer any question you want, just as long as they're non-trolly questions. That goes for everybody. You know, I'll answer whatever you want me to answer, as long as you're not trying to make me upset or anger me or trying to insult one of my friends. I'll answer whatever question you want me to answer, and I'll try to answer it honestly. You know, I mean, whatever you want. I would prefer writing questions, you know, like how do you stay inspired? How do you plot? Why didn't you like Oppenheimer? I don't know. I just thought Oppenheimer was boring. And I don't know why he split it up into black and white and color. I didn't get that. I missed the title cards where he started the black and white and he started the color, but I don't know what the difference between the black and the white and the color stuff was for. But yeah, I just found it boring. There wasn't any like real dialogue where I was like, oh, that's a snappy piece of dialogue. And then again, I really don't think Oppenheimer's brilliance came across in the movie. And Albert Einstein had a bit part in it, and I don't think his brilliance came across in the movie. Again, and I said this before, and I'll say it again because you're asking again. But when you have a super genius on screen like Albert Einstein or John Oppenheimer or like Sherlock Holmes or like some famous genius like Nikola Tesla, you've got to really pull double duty to make them seem intelligent. And I don't know if Alan Dean Foster said this, but I'm going to attribute it to him. But let's just say I heard it at a writers' conference, and Alan Dean Foster was one of the writers, so I think it came from him. But somebody said it is very hard to write a film or a book above your IQ level. And that's what I'm trying to do with my play, I'm a Genius, You're a Genius, is I'm trying to get Albert Einstein and Sherlock Holmes' brilliance to come across in the script. And I just don't feel like their brilliance came across, Like, I mean, like, if you make a film about John Oppenheimer, like, after the movie, John Oppenheimer should be what everybody's talking about. And, like, when I left the movie, I was like, yeah, it's an okay, well-directed movie, got good acting, but I was just like, I just don't think the brilliance came across. Do you like the scene where Einstein came out of the shadows? No, not really. No. I thought he was in the trees. Was he in the shadows? I don't remember that particular moment. I thought he was in the trees, and then he passed Oppenheimer. Or, no, he was in the trees, and he passed one of the main characters, and he said something to John Oppenheimer. But again, I just don't feel like, and there was no scene in the movie. And this is one thing that one critic said about Tenet, is like in Tenet, there's no real like grabber visual in Tenet. Like maybe the airplane crashing into the museum, maybe that, but like there's no like super memorable visual in Tenet that people are like, oh we're all the parodies, we're going to make fun of this, or we're going to parody this. It's such an iconic moment, we're going to recreate the scene. Like there was no scenes like that in Oppenheimer, and there were no scenes like that in Tenet as well either. So yeah. Again, I love Christopher Nolan. I'm rooting for him. I love his directing. I think he's a great director. I really think he needs to, maybe hire David S. Goyer for the next few scripts. Because again, what a lot of people don't realize is like David S. Goyer is a great writer. When he's either by himself or when he's paired up with somebody great, he turns out great material. When he's paired up with somebody crappy, he turns out crappy material. Like David S. Goyer wrote the first 3 Blade films, which were sensational, especially from a writing standpoint. They were great movies. And then David S. Goyer helped write Batman Begins. He helped write The Dark Knight. He wrote most of The Dark Knight Rises. Those were all great films. He wrote the first Man of Steel movie. I thought that was a great movie. But then they paired him up with Chris Terrio, and then you got crap like Batman versus Superman and Justice League. And when you pair David S. Goyer up with the right people, you come out with good stuff. Like David S. Goyer also did the script for Terminator Dark Fate. But there were like 5 other writers, including James Cameron, on that. And a lot of those other writers haven't written anything significant besides James Cameron, like Billy Ray. I don't know what else the hell he's written. And then there were a few other writers. I was like, who are these people? I know David S. Goyer. I know James Cameron, but all these other jokers, I have no idea who they are. I'm gonna put some more minutes back on the clock because I want to finish this rant. So yeah, I had no idea who those other writers were, and Chris Terrio I don't feel is a good writer. And everybody points to Argo, saying, "Well, he wrote Argo. That was an Oscar-winning movie." Yeah, Argo he wrote with Ben Affleck, and Argo was not based on a script that Chris Terrio came up with. It was based on a book. So a lot of the structure and a lot of the dialogue and a lot of the events in the movie came from the book, which is based on a true story as well. But yeah, Ben Affleck also wrote on it, and it was based on a book. And Chris Terrio comes up with crap when you leave him alone. He came up with, he came up with Batman versus Superman and Justice League and Star Wars, the Last Skywalker. If you ever seen those movies are terrible. It was a very weird scene. LOL. Did you see Barbie? No, I'm gonna wait for Barbie to come out on. I'm gonna wait for that to come out on streaming. I'm gonna watch it for free. I'm not gonna pay to see it. I've heard it's really super woke, and I'm not gonna pay for a super woke movie. I don't like wokeness. It's a big turnoff. And some of these movies are so bad they're good. And a lot of people say that Barbie was so bad it was good. I think it's streaming. If it's streaming on Netflix, I don't have Netflix. I have Prime. I have Disney Plus. I have Prime, Disney Plus, and Max. So those are the ones I have. I think it is streaming on Max right now, but it's not for free. You got to pay like $19 to watch it. And then I think it's like $8.99 to rent it. And I'm not really in a rush to see Barbie. I can wait. Margot Robbie is a fantastic actress. She's good in a lot of the stuff she does. But yeah, I'm not gonna pay for Barbie. I'm gonna wait until it's free on streaming, and then I will see it. But yeah, so I finished my rant. So here we go. Bam. One more time. Let's see if I can knock it off exactly at 25. I was close. All right. One last sprint, and I will have won NaNoWriMo. So I will have won the challenge. So let's go. And on your mark, Summers, get set, go. 50,014 words. I won. I did it. 15,014 words. I'm at the end of the chapter. I'm going to save it. Bam. Went over my goal by 4 words. Not much, but hey, I did it. So that is the end, and I'm going to do a book review sometime in the next 7 days. We'll see. I'm too tired right now. I want to kick back, relax, pop open a cold one. And by cold one, I mean Monster, not a beer. I don't drink beer. So there we go. I won the challenge. I beat the goal. It's now 15,014 words. And I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by. Thanks for Joey090292. Thank you to Lucky Chucky. Thank you to the dude. Thank you to Fears Logs. And I'm done. I won the challenge. It is 11:43. Ooh, dang, I had 17 minutes to spare. So I'm going to click off. I'm going to finish the chapter. I'm going to finish the entire novel in about 4 or 5 days. But my name is Randy Brown for Cameraman 2021 and the Mirror of Magic. And I will see you later, alligator. All right, bye.